John 9:20 through 21. Responderunt eis parentes eius, et dixerunt, Scimos quia hic est filius noster, et quia caecus natus est, quomodo autem nunc videat nescimus, aut quis eius aperuit oculos, nos nescimus. Ipsum interrogate, aetatem habet, ipse de se loquatur. His parents replied to them and said, "We know that this is our son and that he was born blind. But how now he sees, we don't know. Or who opened his eyes, we don't know. Ask the man himself. He is of age. Let him speak about himself." Here the parents of the man born blind, parentes eius, reply to the questioning from the Pharisees, and they're going to introduce, in the first place, that which they know for certain after quia. We know that. And this is a common construction in the Vulgate. What do they know? They know that this is our son, and they know that he was blind from birth. These are facts that have already been established a couple times in this story. But here's what they deny. Nescimus. What do we not know? They do not know how now he sees. This is the first place that requires some comment. Why do we have the present subjunctive here? Well, the answer is in the combination of a verb of knowing and a question word. This is in fact a reported question, an indirect question. Concerning that which they don't know, they would ask in direct speech, how does he now see? But they're reporting, as it were, that speech and saying, we don't know how now he sees. And when you do that in Latin, you've got to use a subjunctive mood according to the sequence of tenses. Now, for reasons which are not entirely obvious to me, this does not happen with aperuit. Quis aperuit should, according to that rule, introduce a subjunctive verb. Nevertheless, it doesn't here, and this is perhaps one respect in which, again, the Latin of the Vulgate behaves a little bit differently than what we might expect if our education in Latin is primarily grounded in the study of classical texts. Aetatem habet is a very literal rendering of the Greek which lies underneath this passage. It is less idiomatic, it seems to me, in Latin than in Greek, but the sense evidently would have been plain enough to readers of the Vulgate. He literally has age, he has sufficient years to be able to answer for himself, he's a grown man, and so they say, let him, himself, speak about himself. What's interesting here is in the Greek we actually have the future tense rather than what seems to be here a jussive subjunctive. Now this might have to do with some variations in the textual tradition, something that Erasmus notes with disapproval. Nevertheless, it fits the context and it makes sense.